our main characters in the Winnie the Pooh play is not here and is ill. And so we have a last-minute, very brave volunteer substitute. Dana, will you stand up? Dana is now going to be Winnie the Pooh as well as... This one is called The Dog in the Deep Dark Woods.
The Dog in the Deep
So go right ahead.
The Dog in the Deep Dark Woods by Dick Gaspar, starring JC as the moose, Dana as the fox and the otter and bird, Amanda as the fox, Kyle as the bear, and myself as the dog and rabbit, and all the narrators. Imagine seeing something for the first time. You don't know what it is, but you take a guess. Maybe it looks like something else you do know about. But things are not always what they seem. When the animals of the deep dark woods see things used by people for the first time, they have some funny ideas about what the objects are. Can a dog, who has seen the objects before, help them to understand the truth?
On a walk a long time ago, through the deep dark woods, the wild animals came upon a man's boot.
What is it?
They wanted to know. The animals have never seen the boot before,
I know what it is.
said the bear.
It's a plant. See here.
The man showed the other animals two strings that fell down beside the boot.
These are the roots, of course.
He said,
No doubt about it.
agreed the fox.
Let's plant it in the sun.
She suggested,
Perhaps we'll bear fruit someday. The bear, feeling very wise, picked up the boot and carried it along. The animals continued their stroll through the woods until they came upon a rusty kettle. What could this be? They wondered, sniffing the strange thing. No, cried the birds, who did not want to seem less wise than a bear. Some kind of a nest, they said. Look here, said one bird, pecking at the end of the kettle. This is where the bird goes in. And down here, tricked another bird, from deep inside, is the hole where the eggs are safe.
Naturally, agreed the moose. A perfect nest if I ever saw one.
Once again, the animals began to walk. The birds, flying overhead, carried the newfound nest by the handle. In a little while, they came upon a cracked white plate.
Now
what is this?
The animals asked one another.
It is the moon,
Said the otter.
and it has fallen from the sky. What else could it be?
Asked the rabbit.
It's round like the moon. So it is.
Said the fox.
And white like the moon as well.
All the animals nodded.
It is the moon. No doubt about it.
They said. Then, knowing they would need the moon when the sun went down, the otter picked up the plate and carried it along. Soon they caught the scent of another animal who lived in the deep dark woods. It was the dog.
Look here, dog.
The animals cried.
Look at all the things we found.
See, said the bear with the boot, we found a plant. Cried the bird with the kettle.
And lucky for us, said the
dog to the bear.
It's not a plant, it's a man's food,
A man?
said the bear.
I never heard of such a thing.
Man and woman too.
The dog said.
They have 2 legs and they can walk and eat and talk, like us. But they can do much more than we can.
Hogwash!
Huffed the bear.
How can man and woman with only 2 legs do more than I who have 4?
I admit they have no wings and only 2 feet, said the dog. But believe me, man can make things like boots to wear on his feet. The very thought of wearing anything on the feet made the animals burst into wild fits of laughter.
Did you hear that?
Roared the bear.
Silly dog.
The birds turning. She got the hiccup. The bear hung on to his big belly while the moose rolled over and heard the laughter pouring down her cheeks. It's the truth, shouted the dog. Stop laughing or I will leave the woods forever. Go up ahead, said the otter. You don't know that moon and you see it. This made the animals laugh even more. The dog was very proud and did not like being laughed at. All right, she said, holding her head up high. I will go live with man. Perhaps I will be welcome here.
So,
The dog moved in with man, where she was not only welcome, she was loved as well. She happily ate her meals from a plate and got rid of her fleas in baths of hot water, heated in a kettle. And when no one was looking, she chewed on hoops.
A Birthday for Joe Washington by Joanna Johnston. Characters are Alex as the narrator, Stephen as George Washington, August as Lieutenant, Taylor as Buster Washington, Jeremiah as Corporal, Jeremiah as Noah Goodman, August as Jonathan Goodman, Ariel as Abigail Goodman, August as one Continental soldier, Brandon as first soldier, Matt as second soldier, and myself as a narrator. When Sarah Noble and her father built their new home, Connecticut was an English colony. A colony is an area of land that is under the control of another country. By 1763, England had 13 colonies in America along the Atlantic coast.
Some of the colonists wanted to break away from England. On July 4th, 1776, the colonists declared their freedom or independence. But to gain independence, they had to fight a long war.
George Washington led the soldiers in the war for independence, but it took the bravery of many people to finally become an independent nation. This play tells about how the courage of 2 children helped the American cause and turned February 22nd, 1778 into George Washington's happiest birthday.
It was the winter of 1778. Americans had been fighting for independence from England for almost 3 years. With George Washington as our commander-in-chief, we had won some victories, but then came a time of defeat. The English captured New York City, then Philadelphia. Then cold weather came, and General Washington led us to winter quarters on a lonely stretch of land of Valley Forge, some miles beyond Philadelphia. We cut down trees to build huts. We went looking for food. But the supplies we were counting on from the Continental Congress and the different states did not come. We had no blankets against the cold. Our clothes were in rags. Our shoes worn out. Worst of all, we did not have enough food. Let's take you back to that time. To the farmhouse near the camp where General Washington had headquarters. Come in. Good afternoon, George. Good afternoon, Lieutenant.
Martha, do come in. Lieutenant is just leaving.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I will be on my way, sir.
Very good. What can I do for you, Martha?
I would like it if you left that desk for half an hour and came to have a bite to eat with me.
I'm sorry, Martha. I still have many letters to write. I must write again to Governor Trumbull of Connecticut. He at least has always been helpful.
George, I traveled here from Mount Vernon to see that you do not wear yourself out from work. You must rest now and then. Besides, have you forgotten? Today is your birthday.
My birthday? I think I would rather forget it, Martha. Half of the soldiers are walking barefoot in the snow. They will have nothing to eat tonight but cornmeal bread Johnny cake. No meat at all. It does not seem a day to celebrate. Come in. Yes, Corporal, what is it?
Bad news, sir. The cornmeal we are expecting from Goodman, the miller over on the East Branch, has not arrived as promised. The men will not even have Johnny cake for supper tonight. Not even Johnny cake? No, ma'am.
You see, Martha, it is not a day to celebrate. I cannot remember a day when things look worse for the American cause.
A few miles away from Valley Forge is Goodman's mill. Outside, the mill wheel turns slowly in the icy stream. A horse waits patiently by a wagon. But beside the house, the miller lies in pain. His wife, his son, and his daughter try to comfort him.
Please, Father, I want to do something to help General Washington.
I do too. Oh, I can't bear to think that he is hungry and cold.
Let us go, Father.
You really think you can find the way?
Oh, yes, yes. Come, Abigail, let's get started.
Just 1 minute, brother. There is something I have to take with me.
But at least you must bundle up well. Enter Abigail. She wears the cape underneath which she is hiding.
All right, Jonathan, I am ready.
I'm ready, too. Don't worry, we'll get the cornmeal to the general. It's headquarters.
Later that same afternoon, I have never seen you so discouraged.
Oh, yeah.
I do not know how much longer the men can endure their hardships, Martha.
You fear they will begin to desert?
Who could blame them? They have suffered for months. But what hurts me most is that our countrymen do not care enough even to see that our soldiers have food to eat.
Come in. Enter Corporal. Sir, good news.
Yes, what kind of news?
The cornmeal arrived after all. The men will eat tonight. Oh, I'm so glad.
Thank goodness. Not all our countrymen have forgotten us.
Perhaps you might like to meet the wagon driver and his assistant.
Certainly, bring them in.
Corporal goes to the door. Abigail and Jonathan will enter. Abigail and Jonathan Goodman, sir and ma'am. Why, they are just children.
You two alone brought the cornmeal?
Sir, our father has hurt his back so badly, he could not come, but he knew how great was their need. He told us you were cold, too, so I brought you this. I knitted it myself. She takes a long, flowing scarf from under her cape.
How can I thank you? How can I thank you both? You cannot know what it means to me to learn that America still has patriots, and young ones too are hope for the future all at once. I again have hope for the American cause.
Sir, a soldier is outside and wishes to speak to you.
Let him in.
Corporal ushers in a ragged soldier.
Sir, I have come with a special message to all the troops. I want you to know that we will stand by you and our cause. Winter will not last forever. Better times will come. I especially wanted to tell you today that because we have another message for you. Happy birthday, General Washington. Happy birthday to you. Oh, it is your birthday, sir? Yes, it is his birthday, and a little while ago he thought it was a sad day.
But now I'm beginning to think it is the happiest birthday of my life, thanks to all of you. Thanks to you, Jonathan and Abigail. Thanks to you for giving me new hope and faith. The best birthday present of all. Shall we celebrate with Johnny Cake?
Yeah!
Better times did come. Just a few days after the general's birthday, word came that France had recognized the United States as a new and independent nation. Even better, the French were sending men and ships to help us fight. Famous soldier Baron von Steuben came from Germany to help us train the American troops. Another fine soldier, Taras Kapuska, came from Poland. Supplies began to arrive at last. Spring came and we were ready to fight again. The war did not end soon, but in many ways, the general's birthday marked the turn to final victory. Washington would celebrate many more birthdays, some as first president of the new nation, but none was quite so sad and glad as the one on February 22nd, 1778 at Valley Forge.
Whenever you're ready, we are.
In which Kugel's busy and gets into a tight place by A.A. Milne. Starring Jeremy Dana is Rabbit.
That's our
Mike
substitution.
is Christopher Robin. And all the narrators, Brian, Mike, and myself. In the story, a main character, a bear named Winnie the Pooh, just likes to eat anything with honey in it. His love for food helped put him in a most unusual position. Edward Bear
Tra-la-la, tra-la-la, tra-la-la.
As he stretched him as high as he could go, and then...
Tra-la-la, tra-la. Oh, help, Mom!
After breakfast, he had said it over to himself until he had learned it off by heart, and now he was humming it right through properly. It went like this.
Tra-la-la, 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 tra-la-la. Rum-tum, tiddle-um-tum, tiddle-iddle, 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 tiddle-iddle. Rum-tum-tum, tiddle-um.
Well, he was humming this song to himself, walking along happily, wondering what everybody else was doing and what it felt like being somebody else, when suddenly he came to the sandy bank, and in the bank was a large hole.
Aha! Rum-tum, tiddle-um-tum. If I know anything about anything, that hole means rabbit.
He said,
And rabbit means company.
he said,
And company means food. And listening to me humming and such like, rum-tum-tum, tiddle-um.
So he bent down, put his head into the hole, and called out.
Is anybody at home?
there was a sudden scuffling noise from inside the hole and then silence.
What I said was, is anybody at home?
Called Pooh very loudly. No!
Said a voice, then added,
You needn't shout so loud. I heard you quite well the first time.
Father, said Pooh. Isn't there anybody here at all?
Nobody.
Winnie the Pooh took his head out of the hole and thought for a look. And he thought to himself,
There must be somebody in there because somebody must have said nobody.
so he put his head back in the hole and said,
Hello, Rabbit. Isn't that you? No. But isn't
said Rabbit in a different sort of voice this time.
But isn't that Rabbit's voice?
I don't think so.
Said Rabbit.
It isn't meant to be.
Oh,
Said Pooh.
He took his head out of the hole and had another think, and then put it back and said,
well, can you very kindly tell me where Rabbit is?
He has gone to see his friend Pooh Bear, who is a great friend of his.
But this is me.
Said Bear, very much surprised.
What sort of me?
Pooh Bear.
Are you sure?
Said Rabbit, still more surprised.
Am I quite sure?
Said Pooh.
Oh, well, then come in.
So he pushed and pushed and pushed his way through the hole. And at last he got in.
You were quite right.
Said Rabbit, looking at him all over.
It is you. Glad to see you.
Who did you think I was?
Well, I wasn't sure. You know how it is in the forest. One can't have anybody coming into one's house. One has to be careful. What about a mouthful of something?
Pooh always liked a little something at 11 o'clock in the morning. And he was very glad to see Rabbit getting out the plates and mugs. And when Rabbit said,
Honey or condensed milk with your bread. He was so excited that he said,
Oh!
and so as not to seem greedy, he added,
But don't bother about the bread, please.
for a long time after that, he said nothing until at last, humming proudly to himself in a rather sticky voice, he got up, shook Rabbit lovingly by the paw, and said that he must be going on. Must you?
said Rabbit politely.
Well,
Said Pooh.
I could stay a little longer if you...
And he tried very hard to look in the direction of the larder.
As a matter of fact,
Oh, said Rabbit.
I was going out myself directly.
Oh, well then, I'll be going on. Goodbye.
Well, goodbye, if you're sure you don't have any more.
Is there any more?
Asked Pooh quickly.
Rabbit took the covers off the dishes and said,
No, there wasn't.
I thought not.
said Pooh, nodding to himself.
Well, goodbye. I must be going on. then his front paws, and then his back, and then his shoulders, and then...
Oh, help!
Said Pooh.
I better go back. Oh, bother.
Said Pooh.
I shall have to go on. I can't do either.
Said Pooh.
Oh, help and bother.
Now by this time, Rabbit wanted to go for a walk too. And finding the front door full, he went out by the back door and came round to Pooh and looked at it.
Hello, are you stuck?
He asked.
No.
Said Pooh carelessly.
Just resting and thinking and humming to myself.
Here, give us a paw.
Pooh Bear stretched out a paw, and Rabbit pulled and pulled and pulled.
Ow!
Cried Pooh.
You're hurting.
The fact is, said Rabbit, you're stuck.
It all comes
Said Pooh crossly.
of not having front doors big enough.
It all comes, said Rabbit sternly, of eating too much. I thought at the time, said Rabbit. Only I didn't like to say anything, said Rabbit. That one of us was eating too much, said Rabbit. And I knew it wasn't me, he said. Well, I shall go and fetch Christopher Robin.
Christopher Robin lived at the other end of the forest, and when he came back with Rabbit and saw the front half of Pooh, he said,
Silly old bear.
in such a loving voice that everyone felt quite hopeful again.
I was just beginning to think
Said Bear, sniffing slightly.
that Rabbit might never be able to use his front door again. And I should hate that.
He said,
So should I.
Rabbit said, said Rabbit.
Use his front door again?
Said Christopher Robin.
Of course he'll use his front door again.
Good.
Said Rabbit.
If we can't pull you out, Pooh, we might push you back. Rabbit scratched his whiskers thoughtfully and pointed out that once Pooh was pushed back, he was back. And of course, nobody was more glad to see Pooh than he was. Still there it was. Some lived in trees, some lived underground, and...
You mean I'd never get out?
Said Pooh.
I mean,
Said Rabbit.
that having got so far, it seems a pity to waste it.
Christopher Robin nodded.
And there's only one thing to be done.
He said,
We shall have to wait for you. We shall have to wait for you to get thin again.
How long does getting thin take?
Asked Pooh anxiously.
About a week, I should think.
But I can't stay here for a week.
You can stay here all right, silly old bear. It's getting you out which is so difficult.
We'll read to you, said Rabbit cheerfully. And I hope it won't snow, he added. And I say, old fellow, you're taking up a good deal of my room in my house. Do you mind if I use your back legs as a cow horse? Because, I mean, they are doing nothing, and it would be very convenient just to hang the towels on them.
Oh, we.
Said
Pooh.
What about meals?
I'm afraid no meal.
Said Christopher Robin.
Because of getting thin once about, we will read to you.
Bear began to sigh and then finally cried because he was so tightly stuck and a tear rolled down his eyes.
Then, would you read a sustaining book such as would help a comfort a wished bear in great tightness?
So for a week, Christopher Robin read that sort of book at the north end of Pooh, and Rabbit hung his washing at the south end. And in between, Bear felt himself getting slender and slender. At the end of the week, Christopher Robin said,
Now!
So he took hold of Pooh's front paws, and Rabbit took hold of Christopher Robin, and all Rabbit's friends and creations took hold of Rabbit, and they all pulled together.
and for a long time, Pooh only said,
Ow!
and then
about. And Christopher Robin and Rabbit and all Rabbit's friends and relations went head over heels backwards, and on top of them came Winnie the Pooh, free. So with a nod of thanks to his friends, he went on with his walk through the forest, humming proudly to himself. But Christopher Robin looked after him lovingly and said to himself,
Silly old bear.
Boys and girls, thank you, all of you, for coming and also for doing all your parts so well. And thank you again, audience.